There's something sinister happening in Oregon.
Learning new details tonight about the investigation into the death of a Portland man and his dog. They were found near a lake in Lewis County.
A life has been lost.
Near the campsite, according to LCSO, deputies responded to reports of a death in the area.
And for some reason, they're trying to cover it up. Hey guys, welcome back to ParasykeTV. I'm Max Powers, and right now there seems to be a pretty disturbing cover-up going on in Oregon. Or at the very least, there is a terribly mismanaged case going on, and we're going to cover all the information that's available about this case today. Just a reminder, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not insinuating guilt on any party, and everyone is innocent until proven guilty. On August 16th, 2022, Aaron Christensen met up with 15 of his friends at the Wallops Lake campground in the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest. Gifford-Pinchot offers beautiful, breathtaking views of Mount Baker, Mount St. Helens, and Mount Rainier, and Aaron and his group of friends went there every August for their yearly camping trip. Aaron was 49 years old, and he spent his life going on adventures like this, fishing, and he loves spending time with his family and friends, and he played bass. Actually just got a 4-month-old puppy that he named Buzzo, and he actually brought Buzzo on this camping trip with him. On all of these camping trips, Aaron always liked to go on his own little mini solo hiking trip, and this year was no different. He planned on hiking a 13-mile round-trip stretch over the course of 2 days, leaving the campsite with his friends early in the morning of Friday, August 19th, and getting back the next Saturday night in time for a barbecue. So Aaron set off on schedule at 8:30 a.m. on Friday, but when he didn't show up on Saturday night, his friends did get worried, but they knew he could handle himself. Unfortunately, later on that night on Saturday, a sheriff's deputy showed up at the campsite and informed the group of friends that a hiker had found a man and his puppy both deceased on the trail and ran down the mountain to get the authorities. The sheriff's deputy even already had a photo of Aaron and the puppy's remains, and the friends were able to identify Aaron based on this photo. The sheriff's deputy didn't inform Aaron's friends group what the cause of death was, what actually happened, what caused this healthy 49-year-old active man to collapse and die on the trail. Well, when the police contacted Aaron's family, things did start to get a little strange. About a week after Aaron's remains were found, his family was finally contacted by the detectives that were investigating his death, and they were shocked to hear that, according to the detectives, he had passed away from a heart attack. When they assured detectives that there must be some kind of mistake because Aaron was very healthy and active, the detectives kind of took this weird stance and said that they had found weed among Aaron's belongings, and that what if it was laced? Okay, I guess that could be a possibility, but I feel like if you're going to use that as a factor in a cause of death when you're talking to a family, you should probably have it tested first. Another detective kind of made a conflicting statement and said, well, he must have just had a widowmaker's heart. As far as I could find out, a widowmaker is basically a kind of stroke or heart attack that happens because an entire artery is blocked, but according to the family, he had no history of any problems like this. Aaron Christensen's younger brother Corey told the Oregonian that this was the most absurd thing he had ever heard come out of a sheriff deputy's mouth. But men do die of heart attacks. 49 is young. It's not impossible though, right? Well, even if that were true, then why was Aaron's 4-month-old new puppy found deceased next to him? By Saturday, when his friends were informed of his death shortly after 5 p.m., Aaron had been gone from the campsite for approximately a day and a half. You would think Buzzo, Aaron's dog, would either be next to him and maybe a little hungry but fine, or just gone. But he wasn't. He was deceased. And it would turn out Aaron's brother Corey was totally right. The story was absurd. Just last week, the Lewis County coroner confirmed that it was a homicide. Aaron died because of a single gunshot wound to the chest. Over 2 months after Aaron and his puppy's remains were found dead on the side of a trail, no charges have been brought against anyone, even though police identified the shooter shortly after the crime. Even still, the Christensen family say they've received very few details about the case, and even among some of the details they have received, some are conflicting. The department may have tried to shift the blame away from them being wrong about the cause of death, or maybe even lying about the cause of death, in 2 ways so far. Both said that he still died of a heart attack, but then was shot, so the heart attack was still the cause of death somehow, and that they didn't realize he had been shot because there wasn't very much blood, so they just thought that hole in his chest was a different puncture wound. A man lost his life. He's found on a trail. Your job is to determine what happened to him. There's a hole in his chest, and you say, heart attack. I'm not quite buying it. And once again, what happened to Buzzo? Why is the 4-month-old puppy also deceased? Well, we can actually safely extrapolate that Buzzo was also killed with a gunshot wound because a detective actually tried to say that Aaron and his dog were killed with one bullet. Which, come on, why would they lie about that? Why would they try to say it was one shot? Why would they be lying about the cause of death when it takes it from natural causes to a homicide? That's a very serious change. Well, I'd probably have to speculate that they're trying to sweep it under the rug in order to protect someone. And here's why. About a week ago, in late October of 2022, the Sheriff's Department finally announced publicly, officially, after a 2 months long complete media blackout on the subject, that Aaron Christensen's cause of death was a gunshot wound, and that first-degree manslaughter and first-degree animal abuse charges be made against 20-year-old Ethan Asbach and his 17-year-old unnamed girlfriend. According to Ethan, he and the 17-year-old girl were hiking along the Willup Lake Trail on August 19th and put up their tent to camp for the night near the trail. After nightfall, Ethan and the 17-year-old girl he was with became spooked when they heard growling noises and saw what they believed to be the glowing red eyes of an animal. So Ethan leveled a firearm and fired a single shot out of fear, then checked the area, finding Aaron and his puppy dead. And they were unable to report the incident to authorities for over 2 days because they apparently took a wrong turn and became lost. That is until someone from the Asbach family contacted the authorities sometime on August 21st. Once again, this is total speculation, but to me, this story just makes no sense. The inclusion of the first-degree animal abuse charge kind of tells me that in some way, shape, or form, they took action to end the dog's life. But it's okay, because a detective apparently assured Aaron's brother that Asbach is a good kid from a good family. Jonathan Meyer, the county prosecutor, told the Oregonian that the investigation needs more work to be done, and that Asbach has gotten a lawyer, but he's not currently in custody because he hasn't been charged with any crimes. I feel horrible for the Christensen family, and in a way I also feel bad for the Asbachs if it was truly an accident. But something about the initial cause of death being reported as a heart attack, and then when the family kind of resisted saying that he was healthy and the police telling them almost that it was his fault because what if his weed was laced, something about that feels very off to me. The claim that he suffered a heart attack and then was shot but was already dead also seems very off to me, like they're just trying to shift blame away from themselves for making the mistake and saying that he had a heart attack, and already trying to shift the blame away from somebody who shot him. The amount of time that passed between Asbach apparently shooting Aaron and him reporting it to the authorities, 2 days, something about that feels very off to me as well. So guys, please let me know what you think about this case. My heart goes out to everyone that's involved and affected by it. Please try to remember that this case is still ongoing and it's going to be evolving until it's solved, and it's all speculation until then. I want to say thank you so much for watching and for all the support. If you haven't already, please leave a like, hit subscribe, and hit those notifications, and I will see you guys in the next video.